You know what I was thinking to myself?
Yeah, but I can't say it on air.
True. The other thing I was thinking was it's about time we review a short film. It's about time we... It's about time we do, you know, just like a nice, brief little
Right.
short story film.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be here.
It still counts as a film. No film is too short. I mean...
Right? No film is too big. No film is too small. The movie men will review them all.
Nice. Dude, did you just come up with that?
I just...
That's...
I wasn't going to finish it, but then inspiration struck, and I was like, I'll just go for it.
Nice.
So
you did the right thing.
So before we go any further, before we say absolutely anything, if you're listening to this episode and you're not in the car, or you're not, if you're somewhere that you can just like sit and listen to the episode with a phone or a tablet or something in front of you, then down below in the show notes, clearly labeled bingo, is Movie Men Bingo. And here's what you do. You open it up, you play bingo. So each one of the squares will have something on it that may occur at some point during the show. Either we reference something or someone does a certain thing. And just like regular bingo, if it happens, you give yourself a little X or a little marker. And if you get bingo, you get bingo. So, I don't know. It's exciting.
Nice.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, heck yeah. I'm doing it right now.
Wow. That seems, I don't know how that works. It seems like you could cheat and just intentionally do things to give yourself a bingo.
No.
Okay.
No.
So 2005. 25.
20.
Because zeros don't count for anything. 225 is where we are.
Or 2005.
And 005. Yeah, it's 2021. We're just trucking right along. We already did on my bucket list of films that we need to do for 2021. I've stroked off a Spanish film.
Okay.
And now the next one, coincidentally, the next one on the list is a 12 and a half hour long movie about a big ape.
So listen here. Okay. Obviously, welcome to the show. 2005, we did a vote. I'm so having trouble reading where you're coming from right now, because you messaged me when this vote was going off and you said, I hope Kong wins. And I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means you love it, or I don't know if you mean you hate it.
Well, I guess we're going to figure that out.
We're going to figure that out.
Uno momento.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're new to the show, spoilers are ahead. Obviously, we're going to talk about the 2005 Peter Jackson King Kong movie as if you had just sat down and watched it with us. And so if you haven't seen it and you care about spoilers, then, maybe download this and come back to it, tomorrow after you watch King Kong. Yeah. So, should we do this?
Let's do it. And one thing I'll say, I've been looking forward to this trivia all day long. I've got one question for you, just one.
Okay.
And I'm going to leading up to that question, there are just so many things. I kind of nerded out on the trivia this week that I just want to share with you. They would be kind of tacky to ask as a question, so I'm just going to lay down some stuff, say, hey, this is interesting. I want to share it with you and the listener, and then it'll finish with one question that I ask you. So, one, to no surprise, and you kind of alluded to this film is super long. And apparently, it was only intended originally to be a little over 2 hours, and Peter Jackson just kept tacking on, and eventually it grew to be over 3 hours. And different Universal executives literally flew to New Zealand where they were shooting to watch a cut and be like, listen, what's going on? And then they ultimately liked it, and their concerns were addressed, so nothing changed. But I thought that was interesting. Some other facet of this that I'm fascinated by is the film had a heavy budget to begin with, $150 million. And then it ballooned to $207 million, which at the time was record-breaking. And it actually even received a subsidy of $34 million from New Zealand. And at that point, it was one of the most expensive films ever made. And a lot of it was just because the film was so long and they needed a lot of effects and a lot of things kind of created. So, I mean, you keep adding things on.
There's a lot of visual effect shots in this movie.
So many. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense logically. Like, hey, if you have a 3-hour film and it keeps getting longer, the price is going to go up. So it was a record trend setter at the time. This one blew my socks off. Okay. 7 weeks before the film opened, 7 weeks, Peter Jackson decided to pull kind of an audible. He decided to change composers for the film. So it was originally Howard Shore, the same composer who did Lord of the Rings. But 7 weeks prior, he switched to James Newton Howard. The wild thing is, Shore, the guy who he canned and decided not to go with, he still appears as the conductor in the New York Theater at the end of the film. But obviously... Okay. Yeah, so he was obviously planned to be a cameo when he was originally intended to score the film, but then after filming, Peter Jackson decided to part ways, but it's too late to...
And honestly, aside from that scene, like aside from the stage production scene, I can't say that any of the music jumps out at me in this movie. I can't say that I'm ever like gripped by the soundtrack.
Ooh, I definitely loved the soundtrack. I find it just as a fascinating kind of tidbit, just what went down that these two worked so well on Lord of the Rings together that literally at the last minute, Peter Jackson said, screw it, you're gone. I'm going with someone like with literally just minutes to spare.
Well, because he saw the first edit, right? And they land on the island. They get to the island, and you can see the giant wall and the fog. And the carvings in stone of all the skulls and creatures and monsters, and then and Peter Jackson was like, okay, listen, not only have we used that before, I don't know tonally if it's what we're looking for. So creative differences.
True enough. Andy Serkis had to go through 2 hours of motion capture makeup every day before filming for the role of Kong, which is wild. But obviously he played two different roles in this film.
Far less makeup to play Lumpy, though.
I mean,
far less.
To a degree, maybe. I don't know.
To a degree.
Okay, so here's my final question for you. So in the 90s, Peter Jackson actually attempted and did some early efforts on a King Kong film. And in the early 90s, he did some legwork, some groundwork, and ultimately it didn't end up going through, obviously, in the 90s. There was just some technical, contractual issues. It didn't go through with a studio. But he was working on it, and he turned down another film. And it was another primate film. And I want you to name the primate film that he turned down to direct in favor of King Kong, and then he eventually turned that, that didn't turn out at the time, and he went into Lord of the Rings. But what other primate film did he turn down at that time?
I mean, it's got to be Planet of the Apes, just because I don't know. I don't know any other primate films.
It's actually The Matrix.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was...
it's Planet of the Apes.
It is absolutely Planet of the Apes, which I'm assuming...
So that's the one that Tim Burton picked up then.
Which is, Tim Burton, so I'm assuming that kind of catches your attention.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes. Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard not good things. I mean, I'll probably watch it eventually.
Sure.
I've really only ever seen the new ones.
Oh, okay.
Which again, Andy Serkis. Like, good Lord, Andy Serkis.
Is he in that?
He plays Caesar.
No.
Yeah, he did all the motion capture for Caesar. Yeah,
Oh.
in all three new Ape movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, but not in the Tim Burton one, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
In the new ones. I've only
Yes.
I've only seen the
Gotcha.
new ones.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the only one I've seen. I'll probably eventually get around to it. It's just from what I've seen, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it interests me.
Yeah.
Because even that's set. Like, the whole new series is a prequel,
Sure.
essentially.
Yeah.
Right? Because we never
No.
catch up to where
No.
there's humans coming to the planet and
Yep.
it's overthrown by monkeys. Yeah.
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 But yeah,
So, cool.
he said no to Planet of the Apes. I found that fascinating, just that he had ties to that's a classic film, Planet of the Apes, as is the original King Kong. So I thought there was a bit of a connection there. And of note, he also, like, while he was working on King Kong in the 90s, he kind of jumped camps to different places to kind of, reel some people in to see if they were interested in performing in his movie. And apparently he made a trip out to the set of Titanic to talk to Kate Winslet. So if you believe that gossip, that maybe almost happened in another universe, who knows?
I believe all gossip.
Especially as it relates to James Cameron's
rule of thumb.
Titanic. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the movie that, although it thoroughly lays out the advantageous box office return if your film has bosoms in it, actually has no boobies.
Right.
Which would make Jack Black quite happy because he thinks that, you low-life, tasteless hack. Such a great... Okay, I'm going to start this conversation off by saying, so nice to see Jack Black in what is basically a non-comedic role.
Yes. Yep.
Like, he's got some funny moments,
Yep.
but it's not a comedy. And his
I would agree.
character's not a funny character.
No.
And so that's pleasant. It's nice because I think you get to see Jack Black's acting chops in a way that you maybe don't normally otherwise see.
Sure. And, I'm not the most well-versed Jack Black enthusiast.
No, I mean, you've seen School of Rock.
Yeah, so I can't really think of any other things that he's done in his career that I go, yeah, like Jack Black. So this is a film that he really gets to kind of flex his muscle as an actor, not just kind of the same one-trick pony, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also really excited to be doing a Peter Jackson film finally.
Yeah, that's actually true. We have not.
Because I don't think we have. No.
No.
Which is interesting because it's something... Watching Peter Jackson's career, I find really interesting without fail. So, like, if you go back and you watch behind-the-scenes footage of Lord of the Rings, like if you deep dive into the extended edition Blu-ray special features.
Oh, sure. Yep.
Peter Jackson. That's Sean Connery's doing this one.
Hey, there's
Peter
the bingo.
Jackson is a heavier set guy. He's got a belly to him. He's probably an extra large t-shirt.
Sure. Which is fine.
Which is fine. And then he quits filming. He's done filming those movies. And you see him do some interviews in like the in-between years for like the Adventures of Tintin and stuff.
Right.
And
he's
like skin and bones.
Yeah.
Like you can barely recognize the guy. You're like, holy moly, this guy's this is not the same guy. He almost looks sick here, although I guess technically he's healthy. He just it's just bizarre to see. And then you watch the behind the scenes of the Hobbit movies, and he's huge again. And so I don't know, like I haven't watched the behind the scenes of any other Peter Jackson movies. Like I don't know if this is just a when he's making movies. Like I don't know what his weight gain or loss was like during King Kong. But I've just always found it so fascinating that like, is it stress? Is it a commentary on the type of food that is typically readily available at movie sets?
Sure.
Is it like, what is it that, you know, because I don't know of any other director in Hollywood off the top of my head who would have the same affliction.
Sure.
But yeah, so that's something I've always thought about Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson, the guy who's really, really big when he's making a really long movie.
Right.
Or when he's neck deep in a trilogy. You know, packs on the pounds.
Yeah.
But yeah. So King Kong.
Yeah.
It's been done many times.
Yes.
This is the only King Kong I've seen. I haven't watched Kong Skull Island. Although we were talking about it.
Yes.
And I'm thinking I will watch it.
Sure.
I also haven't seen the two newest Godzilla movies. So
sure.
And if we're going to do anything with Godzilla versus Kong when it comes out in a couple of months, then I'm then I got to see the rest. I got to get myself primed and I got to get caught up. I need all the background info. So, and I watched the trailer for Kong Skull Island last night.
Okay.
And Tom Hiddleston and like
Brie Larson.
and John Goodman. And
is it Sam Jackson?
Maybe.
It's been a while.
It's not popping out to me but yeah, I was like, oh, I'd watch this. It's a much different take from what I could see from the trailers. Like just tonally and everything, it seemed much different. But yeah, I was like, okay, I'll watch this. So anyways, Peter Jackson's King Kong is the only King Kong movie I've ever seen.
Nice.
And a fun piece of King Kong trivia for you.
Ooh.
Was the movie that was playing on a TV, not like in the theater, but was the movie that was playing on a I guess it was probably a DVD. When I had my first kiss.
Whoa.
So King Kong's got, it's got it has some history with me.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
That's spicy. Boy.
Yeah. So you also wanted King Kong to win.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And why is that?
So I'm like you. I've never seen any of the originals. I have seen Kong Skull Island. Yeah. I went for that for strictly the Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston component. And Sam Jackson. I looked it up. He is in it.
Okay.
Yeah. I've seen King Kong dozens of times now. I don't know if I don't think it's in my top 10 if I were to refurbish my top 10, but I feel like it's probably in the overflow. I have seen it, and I have no interest in the concept of King Kong as far as the original films that it's based off of, or the concept of King Kong. I'm just not there. That's not my thing. And I remember the first time I was in a group that I watched King Kong, pretty close to its release, maybe a couple years after it came out in 2005. And I was so bummed. I was not into watching it. The group kind of spoke and said, this is what we're watching. I was not there. I was not in for it. I was a little intrigued when they said, but it's directed by Peter Jackson. And I said, oh, all right, well, we'll give it a try.
Okay.
And to
be told that this is like he came directly off of Return of the King.
Yeah.
And then came over and did this.
Yeah, so it's enough to raise your eyebrow. Give it a chance. I did give it a chance, and I adored it then. I've watched it so many times since, and we'll get into why, but I do adore this film. It has some flaws like any other film. It's not perfect, but I think what it adds to the table, and it just so happens to be related to the story of King Kong, and I do enjoy elements that are kind of weaved throughout it. So yeah, I appreciate and enjoy this film. And as a side note, so did the audience, because they voted for it to win. But this was another example, Pan's Labyrinth. It happened last week too. The Patreon votes blew this vote out of the water. Like, I mean, blew it. This was a clear first place by almost 2 or 3 times. So now, we are not alone.
You have to think that, like, you know, I wonder if some of the reasons that he was like what did Peter Jackson do before Lord of the Rings? Does he have any like huge credits?
I want to look that up because I feel like I should know that, and I am clueless. I do not know. So,
like, I wonder if part of the issue with him getting a King Kong movie up and running was that there was a little bit of a Peter Who in people's mouths.
Sure.
And I almost wonder if, like, clearly you would think coming off of Lord of the Rings, people were more like, yes, sir, Mr. Jackson, right this way, Mr. Jackson. Like,
well, even like, and you're well aware of this, but even with him getting Lord of the Rings off the ground, like, it wasn't a, hey, yeah, here's our money, take it, do with it what you will.
No.
It was like a, hey, this company said no, this company that said no, our options are dwindling down, we'll have to make it whatever they say.
And especially because, like, the Lord of the Rings movies did a lot in the way of repopularizing, like, Tolkien's Tolkien's lore had kind of faded a bit as far as like public interest and popularity and stuff like that. And so you know, Peter Jackson was probably like, okay, massive film trilogy. I need this many hundreds of millions of dollars. And I'm going to do it for a property that, you know, not a lot of people are all that interested in. And so, yeah, so that was like, yeah, what a struggle that would be. But I would think that, like, you know, you come off Lord of the Rings and basically whatever you want to do, they're going to give you the money to do it.
Oh, yeah. And,
you know,
so I did a quick search. Nothing prior to Lord of the Rings do I recognize. So there wasn't really anything that I recognized to his name prior to that.
He had some experience, but he wasn't a big name director.
Oh, I'm looking. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There were projects, but not household name projects.
Right. Okay.
Listen, when I finished King Kong, and I really kind of thought this at the time, and I probably still do to a certain degree. When I finished King Kong, I thought if there was such a thing as a Hall of Fame for directors, Peter Jackson should be inducted first round, because, like you said, when you bring back Lord of the Rings to pop culture reference or pop culture notoriety, like it's back in relevant conversations, and you do such a brilliant job bringing it to life. And you do the same with King Kong, which, you know, prior to this, there really weren't any renditions that I have been interested in watching. And, you know, when you bring such, I'll call King Kong and Lord of the Rings classic tales. When you bring such classic tales to modern cinema, and in my opinion, do them well, when you do such classic tales like this and you do them well, I just thought, hey, no matter what you touch for the rest of your director career as far as projects, I think you've nailed your way into being kind of in the upper echelon, the Hall of Fame of directors, just by those projects and succeeding at them alone.
Even despite the Hobbit trilogy.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, man. So, where should we go from here?
I don't know. Do you want to know what I think?
I do.
It's a great movie.
Okay.
And it doesn't feel like 3 hours. Like, because there's so much that happens and it keeps changing. It feels like different, you know, tonally very different.
Oh, yeah.
Segments of the film.
Yep.
And so that goes a really long way into making it's just got great pacing, right? It just keeps flowing, and you're like, okay, yeah, like, okay, let's see what happens next. And oh gosh, and this is really gripping, and okay, now what? It is the 1 hour mark when we first hear him roar, and it is the hour and 10 mark when we first see him.
Right.
So that's, I mean, that in and of itself, I was thinking, man, this is a King Kong movie,
Yes.
and we're an hour and 10 minutes in before we see the damn thing. That's,
Right.
but it's okay, because you're like, I don't know, at least I've never, watching it, I've never thought to myself, yeah, okay, but just where is he? Like, let's just
No.
get to it.
Oh, no.
Come on.
It's an incredibly long film. Like, there's no ways to say otherwise. And I'll let you continue, but I just want to like agree with you about that it has a good flow. I mean, I was thinking about this when I was watching it last night, actually, and there are some points where I go, okay, maybe just due to length, maybe there's some sections like here, we should cut this down and we could shorten this here. And when I just conceptually in my mind try and decide, okay, which scenes go on the chopping block, I always come about and just return to the answer, nah, like each of those segments that I'm thinking of chopping out actually have a purpose, whether it's to build up kind of a specific storyline with Kong or with, Naomi Watts. Like, everything has a reason that's in there. So yes, it's long, and maybe it seems a bit too long at times, but there's nothing that's there's nothing that's just there for no reason. It's all
Right.
kind of necessary for the ultimate story that Jackson is trying to tell.
Yeah. If they were to come out tomorrow with if Peter Jackson announced tomorrow a extended cut, and it's an extra 45 minutes,
Right.
what would your initial thoughts be?
Listen, I don't know if Lord of the Rings, I'm like not even a question. I'm watching that right now. King Kong, as much as I love the film, I don't know if I need 45 more minutes.
But you would try it?
I probably would. Who am I kidding? I did read that there was somewhat of a director's cut on one of the releases. I don't know if it was Blu-ray. I don't know if it was DVD. I'm not sure when. And it didn't seem that much longer. Like, it was only like 12 minutes or like 20 minutes. Like, it wasn't drastically longer. So I don't know how much
Right.
was left on the cutting room floor. I think most of
Sure.
what he wanted stayed in the film.
Well, because what I was looking at, I don't know if it was you I was telling this to, but like, so yeah, it must have been. So like, because Justice League, the Snyder cut is coming out,
Right.
right? And the theatrical Justice League is 2 hours, and the
Right.
Snyder cut is like 3.5. There's an extra hour and a half. There's a whole nother 90-minute movie
Jeez.
being tacked on.
That's wild.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this movie's great. I think I'm bewildered by the fact that this is a movie that at this point is 16 years old.
That's alarming.
And in many ways has better CGI than a lot of the stuff you see now. Like, there's a couple of sequences and shots that maybe didn't age super well.
Of course.
But at the same time, like, there's some close-ups of Kong's face
Sure.
where you're just like there's no, oh yes, but this is CGI. No, it's like, oh wow, like that looks stunning. Like
Sure.
it just the lighting and the way that everything's done. So that always
I'd
gets
agree
me.
because there's some scenes where there's like dinosaurs flopping on each other that I'm like, ooh, okay, maybe hasn't aged well. But for me, there's that brief window at the beginning that is New York in the dirty 30s, which I'm all for. Like, I drunk every ounce of it. And to me, those sequences aged so well. Like, they did not stick out
Oh,
like
they
a
were
sore
stunning.
thumb. They were
No,
beautiful.
they're stunning.
Beautiful.
The scariest part of this movie by far is not the gorilla.
So I'm curious where you're going to go with this. Please continue.
I think so I think there's two really terrifying things. One from a suspense, make you uneasy standpoint
Yep.
is when they first interact with the natives.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just terrifying. It's just it's the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah.
And then the other, which even I was like, oh gosh, like I never going into it, I always know that like this one sequence is like really awful. Mm-hmm. And I'm never as equipped for it as I think I am. But anything in this movie involving insects, giant insects.
Yes. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
It's traumatizing. Like enough that at times I'm like wincing away from the screen a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Aside from that, I think it's an amazing retelling of a story that I've never heard told any other time.
Sure.
I think the cast is great.
Yeah.
I think the length is fine, honestly. Sure. I think Kong's MVP moment is when he bites off the tongue of that T-Rex, crushes his jaw, and then like plays with the jaw for a bit just to like ensure he's dead or something. I don't know.
Right. So I've always watched that scene and I thought, okay, that's just kind of modern interpretation of violence and depiction of animals fighting. But again, I've never watched the original film from 1933 or any of the originals, but there's some significance to that kind of choreographed fight scene where he like flops around with the jaw and the tongue. Apparently that is like replicating one of the old
it's like
original...
an homage to...
like that is... It wasn't just random. Like apparently there's significance to that. So for what it's worth.
That's cool. I don't... like we can deep dive into a couple of things, but just sort of general...
I've got a list.
Overarching topics, I don't think there's much else. There's some great lines in this movie. Obviously 'twas Beauty who killed the beast.
So apparently, Peter Jackson reached out to the original actor who played Anne Darrow in the 1933 version, apparently. And at first she said, hell no. And apparently she was kind of warming up to the idea to deliver that line at the end of the film. But unfortunately, she passed away prior to the film being filmed. So then the line was given to Jack Black's character. But
that sucks.
There was potential to have someone significant to the original film, apparently. I haven't even looked that up, so I'm not sure if the timeline works out or if that's just gossip. Because when I'm doing the math in my head, like 2005 to 1933, and I'm sure the actor would have been like 20 or 30 at the time. Anyway.
Yeah, possible.
I'd like to believe it's true.
Speaking of that scene, there's no way that Jack Black's character, there's no way Carl Denham could just like turn around and walk away from that scene.
Right?
That guy's getting indicted. Like, he's got so much blood on his hands.
Oh my god!
So much blood on his hands. There's no way he's just like saying a quirky line and then friggin' Dick Tracying his way out of this situation. There's no way.
I've never thought about that aspect, but you're probably not wrong.
And then the other thing that I was thinking about while watching this, when they first arrive on Skull Island, I was like, man, I'd love to like read like some manuscripts or see a prequel movie that's like, because I just have so many like, who is this monkey? Like, where did Kong come from?
Sure.
And what is the history of this island?
Oh, like, yes.
Like, what is the story of Skull Island? And I'm like, because I'm watching it and I'm thinking, like, as there's all these gigantic carved pillars that are seemingly out in the middle of the ocean, I'm like,
sure.
What? How? What is all of this? Like, who did this and why?
Yeah, well, and even throughout the island, there's all these kind of abandoned, I don't know if you want to call them pyramids or temples, but all these structures that are just overgrown with vines and wildlife. And I also
So
want to know the
there's
genesis
history.
of like the history, who lived here, how long, how did they interact with the wildlife, to what degree, were they eventually overrun by the animals on the island and they're pushed onto the coast and that's why they're cannibals because they can't live on the island without getting eaten? Like what, where and who, and just, the history. I agree with you. I love just watching all these scenes of like the Triceratops drinking from the river, and in the backdrop there's all this abandoned civilization, and I don't know.
And I'm curious enough that like give me, like I said, give it to me in book form. I would read about this.
Yeah.
Right. I don't need a movie to just lay it out for me in 2 hours. Like I would read about this because I think
what
it's
about
really fascinating.
like a 10-part miniseries?
Like a HBO series or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool. I'd watch that. But I would want. See, but here's the caveat.
Sure.
I would want it to be, this is the origin of Peter Jackson's Skull Island.
Yes.
Like don't give me something where I'm watching the series and then I'm thinking to myself, that's never like like if there's all sorts of things happening and it doesn't look like or feel like or make any sense with what I saw in Peter Jackson's King Kong, then I'm gonna find it really jarring.
Please, I agree. Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Unpack some stuff.
Okay. So you mentioned how it's very segmented, and that's something that's always stuck out to me. I have to agree. I have to mirror with. To me, it's kind of like a first third, and then there's the other 2/3 of the film, and they're very distinct from each other. So the first third, to me, is just a complete character study. It's almost a drama to a degree. You have, which I love this aspect. There's the lore and the mystery around the island. There's this long lost map. We see this ancient civilization. Jack Black says like, no one's lived here for centuries. And just because of the film's length, like you said, you don't hear the first roar for almost an hour into the film. And so you get about like a third of the way through this film and you remember, oh yeah, like I forgot about all these things that we've delved into. This is actually about King Kong, and we just haven't got
It's a King
there
Kong
yet.
movie.
Yeah, like I remember the first time I thought about that, or the first time I watched this film, I forgot a third of the way through. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess King Kong has to make a cameo at some point. And then the other 2/3, really, then the action kind of picks up. The developed characters then are now pursuing various story elements driven around King Kong. So, I'd probably prefer the first third of the film more than the second 2/3, but it all blends together well, and I appreciate all aspects of it. Question to you: at what point? I mean, this kind of has like a Saving Private Ryan feel to it. In this circumstance, like at what point do you say too many people have died, and you just have to cut your losses and say we can't rescue Anne?
I mean, with the exception of Jack Driscoll.
Yeah.
Adrian Brody's character.
Sure.
Everyone makes that decision pretty early on. Like Skipper
Right.
very quickly is like, F this. And everyone else kind of quickly gets on board with that as well,
Sure.
including Carl Denham. Right? But it's Jack Driscoll who's like,
Right.
a
Yeah.
little obsessed.
Yeah.
For a woman that he just met like literally 36 hours ago.
Right.
So
There's-
I mean, is either way, it's just like very chivalrous. So it's like it's fantastic that like no one's left behind. But I mean, we're now leaving dozens of corpses behind, so that this one woman isn't left behind, which means it's clearly a love thing. Because like I mean, that's the other thing. He's known her for like 24 hours before he starts writing a play for her.
Which listen.
Keep it in your pants, man.
No, listen, continue the point when I'm done here, but, let he who has not written a stage comedy to show romantic affections towards someone cast the first stone. I mean, you're going to tell me you've never done that?
Not after 24 hours.
Okay, that's true. At least give it 48.
and it's very presumptuous. Like, he's writing this so that she can star in it. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
really haven't had conversations with each other. You don't know if this is what she wants.
It's,
You
So-
presumptuous dick. Like,
something that I kind of was thinking about when I watched it this time was just honing in on their relationship. And there's a huge shift because it starts off she is enamored with him. And then it
Oh,
really
yeah.
it really flips to then he is just strongly pursuing her, and she's kind of,
she's rejecting him fierce. She's like,
she's listen-
it's not
she's
obvious to
listen-
me.
yeah, she's listening, but she's also kind of like, okay, let's just take it easy, like. And so I'm just wondering, like, by the end of the film, where does their relationship stand? Because I don't mean this in a slight or anything, but she has more of an emotional connection with the Beast than almost Mr. Driscoll. So, I mean, I think it's a very one-sided relationship. I don't even know if they have
totally.
if anything is going forward at all.
I don't. If Adrian Brody's character was shot down from the Empire State Building, I don't think she would have cried the way she did.
Right. Oh, man. Dang.
And I think it would have made for a better film.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
No, yeah, he's enamored with her very, very, very quickly.
Very quickly. And way too strong. My goodness.
And the weird thing, like, Mike, the sound guy, like,
Yep.
Adrian Brody's got not your stereotypical Hollywood heartthrob look to him, right? He's got
No.
he's got a bigger nose and
Yep.
and just kind of his own
Sure.
look. Sort of an everyday real man, what people actually look like
Yeah.
instead of the airbrushed Hollywood look.
Yes. Sure. Yeah.
And Mike, the sound guy, or maybe like on the spectrum, is maybe a little more the like stereotypical good-looking sound guy, but or like Hollywood guy, but like at the same time, he's a little baby-faced and kind of pudgy for the Hollywood stereotypical look. Unlike whoever plays our douchebag Hollywood action star in this movie. Right, whereas he's got that rugged, on the jar, face on the jar of hair pomade kind of face to him. But she's like really taken back by Mike. Like when she thinks that that's Jack Driscoll, she's like blushing. She's like, oh my, he's so much more attractive than he looked like in his picture. And he's like, oh man, like, oh, I'm having a hot flash. And then she realizes.
Yeah. But I think part of
that's
that is
not
also
him.
just building it up or kind of putting it on a little bit, just because she loves this man's writing so much that she's just kind of throwing herself at him to a degree.
Here's a question. Here's
Assuming
a
that
curveball.
it was kind of misguided affection.
Here's a curveball.
Yeah, yeah.
There's the scene when Anne meets Jack in the hallway of the ship.
'Kay.
And he comments on her having good sea legs.
Oh, yeah. So awkward.
He's clearly coming back from showering and shaving,
Okay.
right? Because he's got a shirt off. He's got a towel sort of slung over his shoulders.
Sure.
What if she's coming back from Mike the sound guy's cabin?
I don't think so. No.
But we don't know that.
I'm almost certain.
And he's the first guy to die, so there's really no, like, we'll never know. And she screams when it happens. She screams something fierce. She's standing right there.
That was more out of shock and terror than I love this man. I am
Oh, I don't
telling
think
him.
hey, whoa.
Sorry. I
She
think
just
it
met
was
him. I don't
more
think she loves him. I think they just, did the
No.
nasty on a boat in the 30s.
I think it was shock and terror saying, I am terrified that there are murderers approaching us. Then I had intercourse with this man. Oh, no.
Well, you have your fan theories and I have mine.
Logistical question here. I know the movie is super long, already past 3 hours, but something that I feel I just want to know, and I know it slows the tempo of the film, so it can't be in the film, but I honestly think needs explaining. How in the
give me
name of insert blank, whatever you want to say, how, from a practicality perspective, do you get a drugged, sedated Kong back to New York? Like, how do you get him, A, off the shore and onto the ship? How, like, what's the whole process with keeping him sedated without killing him or without him waking up and throwing 12 people off the side of the ship? How do you load him off?
Because it's not a big, even if you do have the manpower to, like, drag him, it's not a big boat.
Well, and by that time, like, a third of your crew is dead. So
you just drape him over the boat? Like, he's just kind of draped over the boat.
But, like, do you have someone 24/7 just rubbing a chloroform rag on his face? Like,
I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought of that.
I'm being super silly. Like, it's not a huge plot point that I want to know, but I also want to know. Like,
I think it is, because, like, not only how do you do it, but how do you do it in the 30s? Like, it's not even like, okay, we airlifted this friggin' monkey out of here.
Right.
Although, I mean,
like, I think once you get to the New York Harbor, you're fine because you can use a crane, you can call in more manpower. It's on that island. Like, you can't bring the boat closer, you're going to get marooned.
Okay.
You can't put him,
we don't know that he came back on that boat. Right? Like, from the time we see the monkey drugged to the time that we, like, months have passed.
Yeah, it's winter
months
time.
And months. It's like 8 months or something has passed.
Sure. A few.
And so, you leave a guy behind to keep dosing Mighty Joe Young, and you
draw straws and one sucker leaves behind.
Yeah. And
fair enough.
Well, I mean, Jimmy just wants to be a part of the team. And
no, don't leave Jimmy. He just lost his mentor. He cannot stay alone.
And you...
No, actually, no. I'm calling bullcrap. No. You can't leave a man behind. Those cannibals will come kill you.
Unless they don't know about that cave or something. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Unless they're afraid of Kong, I guess.
Yeah. Donkey Kong.
Are they literally? Yeah. I think they're saying Donkey Kong. I honestly,
Donkey Kong.
That's my fan theory of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That's a plot point that kind of got me. The other thing I was interested in is, like, with two things. One, he's like, "Don't worry, this is completely safe. Those chains are made of titanium chrome or something."
Oh yeah.
Chrome steel, and I'm like, yeah, but like. The part that failed is not the part I expected to fail.
No, exactly.
What the shit are those chains attached to?
Exactly.
Like, at best, they're attached to the wooden floor.
Yeah.
The other thing is, okay, so here's a question.
Sure.
And I mean, maybe this is me just being ignorant, but, like, with animal activist rights and, like, all this stuff, is it really would it be that frowned upon in the 30s? To be poaching animals using chloroform? Like, they make this big thing about, like, Skipper some douchebag because he's using chloroform. And I'm like, this is the 1930s, man. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, like, at this point, I don't think there's even a ban on, like, killing elephants for their ivory. Like, the gloves are kind of off when it comes to cruelty.
So I think, this is probably an example of a modern day issue being depicted in a prior time. So I think animal cruelty is definitely more of there's more awareness around it today. So yeah, maybe not historically accurate is probably not that.
But it's just like, it's like, oh, I told you to put away the chloroform. And I'm like, so what? Who cares? Good on you. Like,
so what?
Skipper's got to eat. Like, I'm like,
yeah.
If I'm a sea dog in the 1930s, I'm drugging the hippo before I put him in the ship. Like,
let's put it in perspective. It's probably like the 14th worst thing they do at sea. Let's be honest. There's probably way worse things going on than that.
There's no way they're not also pirates. Really, there's no way they're not also, like, robbing people at sea.
Sure. Yeah.
So whatever. And eating lamb's brains and walnut sauce.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which will be, Pete and I have been talking about when we're going to do our next fundraiser live stream.
Oh,
and
there it is.
We'll need things to do.
Yep.
When we reach milestones, and I'm thinking lamb's brains and walnut sauce.
Yeah.
It's maybe like a top tier thing, but
maybe.
But it works.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned on this before with the large insects. 2 points. I love the concept. Again, it goes back into the history of the island, but I do like the idea that we get to see an island that, is undisturbed from our known ecosystem world. So we get to see kind of the microevolution within each species, that they're not influenced by the outside world. So everything's kind of adapted and changed it's different from what we've seen, but it's just so fascinating. Just all these kind of unique and distinct differences in animals and insects. But to me, yeah, there's one scene that I find just terrifying from a, imagining these are human beings perspective, is when they're down trapped like rats in that little cave or valley when all the insects are coming out. And that gets me every time. It makes me uncomfortable. It just bothers me. But yeah, it's
cool.
It's frightening. I want to quick run by a couple things with you. I kind of talked about, I like this film for what it is, and then it just happens to involve King Kong. And I love these themes about the film, and that's why I love this film so much, and it just happens to have King Kong. And so I'm just going to run through them kind of like a quick grocery list. You can stop me, you can agree with me, you can say, yeah, I like that too, or no, you're wrong, or I think we're talking about a different movie here. But the first is the innocence and purity theme, which I think is really Naomi Watts' character. We get to see it kind of gradually and slowly throughout the film, but there's certain characters that just notice it immediately, like Jack Black and Kong. And there's just something innate about it that they just kind of can sense it immediately. And so I love that theme. Kind of related, just on a different scale, there's the innocence and purity of the actual island. So it's so apart from mankind, it's apart from the known world, but it's tainted when this group of pirates, or whatever we want to call them, are trying to capture Kong. A big one kind of early on, and it's kind of throughout, I'll call it Jack Black's character, is the darkness of mankind. So just lies, deceit, all for self-service, and eventually the exploitation of the island, exposing Kong and his lost island to the known world. And we get some pretty heavy references, definitely with that reference from the Heart of Darkness. So I feel like that kind of ties on that. And the last one, maybe the biggest one, because it kind of is introduced early at the diner with Jack Black and Naomi Watts, and it's literally kind of comes to a head in the final scene, is true love and not believing in it because it's doomed. Good things never last. So all these things are in this film, and that's what I love about it. And this film could have been about like a McDonald's restaurant in Singapore, and if it had these themes and it was done well, I would have loved it just as much. But it just happened to be revolving around King Kong, and they really kind of seamlessly kind of weave throughout it, and it's effective with me, and it's one of the reasons I love this film.
I wouldn't dare argue with any of those points.
I'm going to go out on a limb. This might be my favorite Jack Black film, just because he gets to flex some muscle.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think... Yeah,
that works.
I'll go ahead and say that.
Okay. Is there anything else?
I think that's about it. I think we've really hit on everything that I wanted to.
0 to 10. 0 to 10.
Okay. Oh, and Colin Hanks is in this.
Yes, he is.
Absolutely.
The spitting image of
Daddy-O. I only knew, I want to say the last year and a half, that I found out that was Tom Hanks' son.
What? The fact that they have the same last name and face didn't...
I know. Well, I didn't know his name. In my defense, I didn't know his name. And he looks kind of like Tom, but yeah. Okay,
Okay.
scale out of 10. On my scale, I gave it an 8.8. So that's really good. And that means it fell into the highest category. If I paid a lot of money to go see it at theaters, I would not regret spending that money. I would have enjoyed my time out. Great film. On Marshall's scale, I would give the first third of the film a 9 out of 10. And the second 2/3, I give a 7. So just for simplicity, I gave it in the middle. So I gave the whole film an 8 out of 10.
Cool.
Yeah. What would you give it?
As did I. Yeah, I gave it
You
an
gave
8.
it an 8. Oh.
Right on the nose. Yep.
Right on. So
I think it's a great movie.
Similar.
I think if you haven't seen it, you're doing a disservice to yourself.
Yes.
If there's things about it that you don't like, yeah, I won't argue with you. There's,
Sure.
film is subjective, and I'm not passionate enough about this movie to tell you you're wrong. But yeah, 8, very solid.
Cool.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about Andy Serkis. We don't need to, but I love both his roles. Probably more the chef, whatever's.
Lumpy.
I think he's funny, lumpy.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
abominable snowman.
There's only one thing that could leave tracks like this. The abominable snowman.
Yeah.
And so, what did you watch this week?
Trying to remember. I believe it was just one film. I
Okay.
think I'm just doing a count, counting my toes. Yeah, I think it's just the one.
Okay.
It's a film that has a lot of reputation and opinions around it. Some consider it the best film ever made. Some might not. I wouldn't go that far, but I do enjoy it. It's a personal. I don't know if I'd even say a favorite of mine, but I appreciate it. Is what I'm trying to say. I watched the 1941 Citizen Kane, the Orson Welles film. He kind of was the Tommy Wiseau before the Tommy Wiseau, where he, was the lead actor, the director, co-wrote it, except it's, not awful. So yeah, I watched it. It's fascinating. It's one of those films that you go, okay, yeah, that's not that special. I've seen this before. I've seen that before. And then you remember, this was literally 80 years ago. So anything that you've seen technically came after it, even though if you haven't seen it yet. So it's fascinating. There are some things that I never noticed before as far as, this influenced that film or this influenced this film, and you can see some ties. But yeah, that's what I watched this week. Definitely, if there's any film buffs there that haven't seen it, it's one of those films that I think you should watch once. You might not love it. You might not put it in your top 10 film list, but it's definitely worth a view.
Fair.
Yeah. How about you? What did you watch this week?
Okay, so in this order,
Okay.
I watched Finding Nemo,
Ooh.
Irrational Man,
Yeah. Oh.
which I'm not going to spoil for anyone. All I'm going to say is, I love Joaquin Phoenix and I adore Emma Stone.
Yep.
And so, how can you go wrong?
I've been waiting for a few months to tell you this. Is it too much to say? And it's not, I'm not trying to ruin it, and I don't think I am by saying this. I feel it covers some themes that it's maybe more of a PG version of what you get from Joker, as far as like Joker you watch and you're uncomfortable, and for me personally, I had to shower after I watched Joker, and I made a vow at the time that I'd never watch it again. And that's just me. Some people were more comfortable with it, obviously.
Yeah.
But with Irrational Man, obviously very different premise and whatnot.
Very
but
different.
Just the way it challenges you as a viewer, there's still in reality, you break it down and you're like, these things are awful, but I can live with watching this film and I'm not as queasy watching it. And
kind of like Nightcrawler. In the sense that it was like, this is uncomfortable and weird, but it's okay.
Yeah. And it's just interesting because it's obviously both Joaquin Phoenix, so it's easy to make a direct comparison between the two films.
Yeah. Now I watched Mary Poppins.
Ooh. Look at you go.
Which
I believe
followed...
not on my top 10, but on your top 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I followed with the Tom Hanks, Emma Thompson film, Saving Mr. Banks.
Oh, I still need to see that.
And I watched it like 1-2, like same night, double feature.
Oh, man. Oh, wait, I have seen it. Never mind.
Which is
Good
a way
call.
to do it.
Good call.
Yeah. The next night, it's my curse. It's a blessing and a curse. So the next night I watched Mary Poppins Returns.
Okay, that I have not seen.
Awful film. Terrible.
Oh, that's too bad.
Couple good moments, but overall, awful movie.
Okay, yeah.
Awful. Singing in the Rain.
You sent me some screenshots, and when I clued into what it was, I was so jealous. And I know I have no reason to be. Like, I'm a human being in a first world country, so I can watch it whenever I want. But I just haven't made a point of watching it. So I'm happy.
Have you not? You've never seen it?
I've never seen it. I so want to. I just haven't done it.
I watched it in a blanket fort.
Pardon?
I watched it in a blanket fort. I made a blanket fort and watched it.
Pillows and stuff?
Yeah, well, pillows and blankets and chairs and...
Respect.
Yeah. And then I finished this week off by watching...
Was it good? Was it...
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The fort or the movie?
Both, please.
Both, yeah, definitely both.
Okay.
Both were good. And then I finished it off watching one of the good Adam Sandler movies, in my opinion, Mr. Deeds.
Oh, yeah. It's not in the 51st Dates category, but it's a fun, light movie.
I put it in the same, that and Big Daddy are kind of the same.
Sure.
Good comedy type thing. Yeah. So that's my week in film.
Cool. Two things. One, I think I don't know if you mentioned it last week, but did you not recently watch Sound of Music?
Yeah, did I not mention that last week?
I don't think you did, and if you did, I just missed it. So
yeah, I watched Sound of Music I should have reported on that last week if I didn't. I watched Sound of Music.
So Mary Poppins is in your top 10, Sound of Music is in mine.
Sound of Music, I don't know if you remember, Sound of Music is my number 2.
Oh, never mind. It was in both of ours, right?
Yeah. Sound of Music is my second favorite film of all time.
Okay. And sorry, I just keep wanting to pick your brain, so I'm just saying more things. Yep. I keep saying like one more thing, and now it's two more things. Anyway, just of note, Mary Poppins, great film. Dick Van Dyke is such a good actor. Like you've said this before. I'm quoting you when I say this. He was the true talent. Like he could act, sing, dance. Like he could do everything.
Triple threat, and he's the end of an era. He's the last of his breed.
And it's unfortunate because I do appreciate his work, but I just wish he was in more. I'm greedy.
He's in quite Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and the Dick Van Dyke Show is an amazing show. I get it. You're not wrong, but I just wish there was more that I held as dear as Mary Poppins. Sure. But I'm greedy. The last thing, and sorry, maybe you said this and I just was overwhelmed by you watching Irrational Man. Sorry, you liked it or not? Yeah, good movie. Okay. If I thought it was a bad movie, I'd spoil it for people. I would say, doesn't matter because you shouldn't watch it. But
did you like it less or more than Joker?
Oh, less. Yeah, I don't think it's. I think Joker has two things that I think elevate it. One is just its ties to DC Comics. Sure. And the other is the film's just got a lot of guts. It's just got it's got grip.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good, but yeah, sure.
Wrap this up, dude.
All right. Please, everyone, follow, subscribe. If you haven't done so already, check out the links below. Leave us a like or a comment or a review. We love hearing feedback from you. If you're feeling so inclined, please check out the Patreon page, the merchandise page. It's a way for you to support the show, help maintain the show, and help us grow. We really appreciate your support. And if you're not at that level of support, no worries. Just please, or not even please, thank you for listening is what I meant to say. But please do check out the link below for Bingo. And if you are a Patreon supporter, check out, there are some links or some posts on our various social media pages. You can enter our current contest where you decide what film we review in an upcoming episode. So all you have to do is just comment below and say, hey, we want you to review Cats, Peter, and Brady, and we'll do it. So if you follow us on Patreon, you can enter. If you don't follow us on Patreon, For as little as $1 a month, you can automatically be entered to join by giving us a submission.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you did play bingo, let us know how you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until next time.